Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 427.
427.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Van Travel. Today we're talking a lot about Disneyland Paris, a little bit of EPCOT as well. But if you're looking to book a trip to Disneyland Paris, which will turn 30 years old this year, 30th anniversary, check out MEI and Mouse Van Travel. Maybe you could stay at like the Art of Marvel, Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel, which is a really terrific re-theme of the Hotel New York, or the Sequoia.
Well, speaking of Disneyland Paris, we're looking at some great classic footage over the year. 30 years of Disneyland Paris being celebrated. You just saw construction, opening day, all sorts of great scenes. I did not go to Disneyland Paris until 2014. But before the park opened, I did buy that opening day commemorative ticket, and it was my dream to always go and use that ticket someday. I didn't use the ticket. I had it signed by Tony Baxter instead, so I'm kind of glad I held on to that ticket.
That's probably for the best. This is footage that we were given by Disney, and my first time was in 2002, so it was actually for the 10th anniversary. I was there on the day of the 10th, and at that time, you didn't have a year-and-a-half celebration. You had really one day of celebration, and then they actually extended it to like a week. But it was really one full day.
Was the 10th the year they had the inflatables on the castle? Do you remember, or was that the 15th?
I don't think I have any castle pictures, and the 15th did not have inflatables because I was there during the 15th celebration. So I was there on the 10th day during the 15th celebration, and then we were there for the 25th.
So we're looking at I'm looking at the 15th was just shown there, and here we are looking at some of the more recent footage of Disneyland Paris. I see the tower being built, and you were at the Walt Disney Studios before there was any Tower of Terror. Must have been very exciting in those days.
There was like nothing going on in the studios practically. I mean, you had Animagique and Cinemagique, right? Animagique. I loved Animagique. So you had the shows and a few other little things, but no Tower of Terror. You had no Crush's Coaster. There was a lot that was not there. Any of this Toy Story stuff. So no Ratatouille. Like it was very small. And you also had Lights, Motors, Action, which then came to Disney's Hollywood Studios and is no longer there.
So now we're kind of getting into more recent times before I have, I guess
no,
it's 2016,
not before, yeah.
So it's now my time, and all of this is your time.
And 2014 again,
Oh, the 25th, we were there for that. What a great day. My favorite day ever at a Walt Disney park was Disneyland Paris 25th anniversary.
That was an amazing day. I can't imagine anything will ever top it, really. And then you have still the 25th, right? And they had so many characters. They had that big parade and grand celebration of 100 or more different characters, plus tons of performers and new costumes. Really an amazing time.
And we're looking at Space Mountain, which was rethemed to Hyper Space Mountain, and it still is currently.
Not really as big a fan. I would like to see it go back to its original.
See, I never got to do the original. I did Mission 2, which I thought was great, but I've heard about, my good friend Martin Smith tells me about how amazing the original version was, and I would have loved, look at this, it's the Christmas parade, one of our favorites.
And
Mickey's
Big Band,
so many great highlights. I have such a huge smile just looking at this stuff.
Well, it's really incredible. Like, I've done the Run Disney.
We were both in that marathon. Well, I only did the 5K, but you did the full half marathon, so that's Twice, that's right.
Twice.
2 medals you have right now.
But a lot of this stuff, we recognize.
Pirate and Princess, I love it.
That was great. Like, Disneyland Paris does these seasonal events, Lion King and Jungle Festival, which, like, every time it's like,
Jungle Book Jive, I love it. Another one.
And then the Lion King show as well. I mean, Disneyland Paris does entertainment really well. And I love it because, that's why we keep going back is really the seasonality of it. And then the Disney Junior Dream Factory, which was a terrific show. And then Disney's Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel, We actually saw Spider-Man,
Yeah.
like he was doing it the day before, practicing, for
I'll never
his
forget
big
that.
day.
We just happened to be at the Earl of Sandwich.
Yes.
And all of a sudden there's a
There's
spotlight and there's
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man crawling down the building. What a great background.
That was really fun.
So anyway, we're going to start talking about the 30th anniversary.
We're going to see
real quick.
Raphael in a second.
Right, I forgot. This is the reopening day, and we were both there for that when they reopened after the COVID situation.
And there's Raphael. I just saw him. He's a cast member who is very well known. And we were also there for the holiday season. But now we're going to hear David Duffy, Vice President of Entertainment. He did Magic Happens,
Yeah.
also at Disneyland.
You saw that, one of the few who have.
Yes, and set up this the daytime show coming.
For the 30th anniversary, the new show that we are creating will take place in front of the beautifully renovated, brand new Sleeping Beauty Castle. So this all-new celebration will begin as Mickey and his friends make their way down Main Street to the Castle Hub. When they arrive at the Castle Hub, the celebration will really come to life with 33 of your favorite Disney friends and dancers. From some of our most classic friends like Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan, to our most contemporary friends. There really is something for everybody in this show. So as a part of the celebration, Mickey and all of his friends have all brand new costumes. They're really something special and something you've never seen before. So as is a tradition for many Disneyland Paris celebrations, we wanted to create a new theme song that really captures the spirit of the 30th anniversary. And with that, we have a beautiful new piece of music called Un Monde qui s'illumine. This piece of music really captures the spirit of optimism and hope that we hope our guests are going to approach the 30th anniversary with, and that we also hope we can all approach the future with. So we're very excited to share this song with everybody and to really hope that it touches people's hearts in a special way. And now I'm excited to share with you a special sneak preview of Un Monde qui s'illumine, the new song we've written just for the 30th anniversary.
I really love that music.
Oh, so much. It's already grown on me. It already has an emotional attachment. I can't wait to hear that a lot
In person,
during the 30th
yes.
anniversary.
And I'm sure we'll hear it a lot.
And one quick thing about the daytime show, that will not be available starting for the Halloween and Christmas season. So that would be October 1st through January 8th.
And right now we are looking at the creation of Gardens of Wonder. There's going to be 10 different theme-based gardens that will be in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle, which has been recently renovated. And there's going to be 30 new art pieces, Disney and Pixar sculptures. And you really can tell, the different characters here.
Yeah, I think we just saw Mushu going by.
And he would be part of the Gardens of Asia, which includes Baymax, Mushu, and Sisu.
Awesome. I can't wait to see the finished version.
Because I love the EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival so much, this is really up my alley. I just love the sculptures and the creativity. And you can see right there it said Fantasia Garden. So it'll be really interesting to see what plants they choose for them.
And it's very interesting you brought up the EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival, because I was thinking the same thing. I mean, this really reminds me of that. Mm-hmm. I know these are sculptures and they're not living plants, but it just has that feel, that whole feel of the flowering garden.
Well, I mean, they do have living plants too.
That's true.
And some of them are supposed to glow at night too. So it'll be really interesting to see that. And you can see, various princesses like Snow White here and Princess Merida.
Oh, even a 30th anniversary up there.
Oh, Yeah, that looks really cool. So there is a look at the concept art.
So now we're going to shift gears and talk about merchandise. I know there is plenty of merchandise coming out for the 30th anniversary.
Well, there's supposed to be over 350 different items, which for Disneyland Paris is a lot. It's a lot for anybody, but especially for Disneyland Paris. And I'm actually looking forward to buying some of it. And I'm hoping that at the kickoff of the anniversary, they will have some.
I'm sure they'll have some.
At least some. They're not going to have all of it because they said that they're very...
I just saw a Roni jacket. I'm sorry to interrupt, but when I see that jacket, instantly think of Mr. DLP Licious.
So there's a variety of different collections. And you can see here, there's 3 collections that they kind of gave us a look at, including this lounge fly bag. They gave us several pictures of different collections, and then we cropped them.
The soap. Like we have 50th, well, Disney World 50th.
Of course, we'll have to get the 30th.
Of course. Will it have the same Mickey shape?
It's supposed to have the same Mickey shape, yes, and that hat lights up.
I have a hat like that from the 25th anniversary of Walt Disney World, and it's actually right in the office in the other room, so we'll have to get a 30th to go with it for you.
And there's, so Rhino Shield is now doing phone cases, or they're about to start, they're partnering with Disneyland Paris, so there'll be new phone cases. But there's just a really wide variety of items, but don't expect everything on opening day because they said that there's going to be items that, are going to come down the pipe.
Just like the 50th here. I mean, they keep introducing new things all the time.
But there's Dooney and Bourke. It looks like a scarf there, just a wide variety. They're really big into Tinkerbell and gold there. So you can see this collection is very similar to one that I bought a blanket from last year.
You use that almost every night.
Yes. And this reminds me more of the 25th anniversary, as far as the logo. It's not my favorite of the collections, but it's still pretty cool. It looks like a bucket hat up there, and we're going to show that in a minute. I like that pattern. It's
I'm
really
hoping
cool.
for a throwback, like a vintage line.
Like right here, you said you wanted to
Yes, because
that's
one. Similar to the 25th hat.
And I like this. I like that. I really think that's a fun, fun design.
I have a bad feeling that
we're going to spend some money.
Some suitcase.
Well, we're getting two free suitcases each.
So now we're going to look at the Stella McCartney inspired Minnie Mouse there, pantsuit.
And so, I mean, it's not like we haven't seen Minnie in pants before. And so this is just a different one. And I'm looking forward to kind of seeing this. And she'll be wearing it for Women's History Month.
Well, I was today years old when I realized Stella McCartney was Paul McCartney's daughter.
You
just told me like 10 minutes ago while we were recording. I had no idea. I thought it was just a famous designer.
I know, he was like, who's Stella McCartney?
All right. Very embarrassing. Let's talk about these new outfits. All the characters, the classic characters anyway, have great new outfits for the 30th.
Well, they're in iridescent. And
where have we heard that before?
Yeah.
Iridescent.
I think Minnie's is the best of all the costumes. To me, it looks very Parisian, but it also kind of has they kind of have almost like a Tomorrowland look to them, like they could be in Tomorrowland or Discoveryland. Sorry,
I just laugh at Clarice showing her jewelry there, and here comes Donald
with his green hat.
I have to say, Disneyland Paris did a fantastic job with all this video, but especially with the characters, having them here in an empty park.
And Donald has that 30 up on his hat
yes.
as well. And actually, Pluto right there has a 30 on his collar.
Awesome.
This is really
so much fun. I enjoy this.
And this, obviously, they were doing this at the end of the holiday season there because we saw some garland.
And they were in the arcades. You never see anybody in the arcades like that. That was very interesting.
I mean, it's a great place for a fashion show.
Absolutely, a fine place. But now we're going to talk about this new pre-show to Disney's Illuminations, the nighttime fireworks spectacular show they have every night.
With 200 drones. And so we'll hear from producer Ben Spalding.
We're working on something very, very special, something that's never been done before in Disneyland Paris. It's lots of lights, lots of colors, very modern. We're going to have 200 drones who are going to do a simulation of light in the sky at the end of our pre-show. It's the first. It has never been done in any Disney park. We've been doing tests in Bordeaux with Dronisus, our drone company, and we're doing images in the sky, in the fields, away from everybody, secretly. If you can imagine yourself in the middle of the hub, standing in front of the castle, and when you have all of these effects, it's like having a roof of light which is above the top of you, and the star flashes in the trees. It gives this weird sensation that you're actually on your own. It's very intimate.
That looks absolutely amazing, and I can't believe March 6th. It's only a little over a month away this starts.
I'm very excited about it. I mean, you've got also the water jets, the lighting effects, the video projections, everything, and it's I think it's going to be amazing.
Disneyland Paris 30th anniversary looks fantastic. I'm very impressed by everything I've seen, and again, I cannot wait to see all this in person.
Me too.
So now we're back at Walt Disney World here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. We hadn't been in a while, but the reason that we stopped by is the return of Kevin.
And we have, this feels like weeks ago, and it was just over a week ago
Yes.
now that Kevin returned to Animal Kingdom, not as a roaming character, but, you know, she stands behind a kind of a barrier areas, and guests can have photos with her.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen more of a wider opening for some more guests, because the way it is, it's actually kind of tight where she is, and they say there's no line, you know, you're just supposed to walk up. But yeah, it's great to see Kevin back once again. I remember the first time that she was kind of wandering around the park. It was just so much fun to just kind of follow her around and
You
watch her
weren't there.
interact. No, I went the first time I saw her.
Oh, the first time you...
Were you
I
there
think
the first day?
Yes, I was there the first day.
I wasn't there the first day.
No.
But my first experience was seeing her. It was just so much fun to kind of walk around and watch. Guests had no idea that she would kind of sneak up behind them, and they would turn around, and it would just be a lot lot of fun.
I took our first video of her. It
I
may have
remember
been
now.
during
Yes.
like
With the phone,
NASCAR,
you just happened to be
yeah.
there, right?
No. In NASCAR, I think you were at NASCAR. Or
Was
something.
I at Daytona?
That's possible.
Okay. Well, anyway, Kevin has returned.
Yes. And so it's nice to see, you know, a good amount of characters and entertainment are returning to Walt Disney World.
Yeah, and we'll be talking more about that at EPCOT this same day. We went to EPCOT and saw some more characters. But I wanted to mention a little bit of details. I guess she was out all day, pretty much every half hour. So it wasn't very, if you really wanted to go to the park and see her, it wasn't that difficult to do. And you can go to My Disney Experience, and that has all the times for all the characters listed.
Right. And I mean, it was like every half hour, except I think maybe she had to go for lunch or something.
And it looks like she's on her way for some lunch right there. So anyway, now we're going to go from Disney's Animal Kingdom over to EPCOT.
That was pretty quick. And so we were here for several reasons. And there is the Nova Corps Starblaster, which just went in the past week at EPCOT. And that is in front of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which is going to open this summer. And I'm really looking forward to that.
I am so looking forward to that. I mean, that'll be a roller coaster, something that we've always talked about would be great to have at EPCOT. And it looks like it'll be a lot of fun.
But it's family friendly. I mean, they'll have to have a height requirement.
Look at this.
The coaster will rotate 360 degrees. It reminds me in theory of Crush's coaster. First ever reverse launch on a Disney coaster. Now this is called the Wonders of Xandar Pavilion, and it's also going to be one of the largest enclosed coasters in the world.
And I was going to say, remember for the 50th media event, I was actually in that show building and saw all the coaster track. And you're right about a giant Crush's coaster. That to me, inside when you're in there and you look up at all the track, and you can sort of in your mind's eye picture the cart spinning around and everything. It looks like a giant Crush's coaster with awesome effects.
It'll be interesting to see, you know, what the difference in the way it feels is. The Starblaster is 51 feet tall, which is incredible.
It's
That's
almost.
really
It looks
tall.
like it's almost as tall as the building itself, the old Universe of Energy building.
That is possible.
So we also went into the Imagination Pavilion because, as we mentioned earlier, characters are returning. And here, I think first we're going to see Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph.
And Vanellope is by herself, just as Joy is by herself.
That's right. Last time we saw her, she was with Wreck-It Ralph. And later on, we're going to see Joy. And Joy used to appear in the same location here with Sadness.
And we haven't seen Vanellope at the parks in a couple of years.
It's been, at least a couple of years. You're right.
Where up until like a week ago, Joy was running around in the grass for the last,
She's got
year
so
and a
much
half.
exercise, this Joy. Her and Pooh. But poor Vanellope has had a lengthy vacation, probably off with Wreck-It Ralph playing video games.
Well, she used to be in the Christmas parade, right?
Yes,
and
true.
the Halloween parade, maybe.
Not this year.
No, not this year. No. And so it's really fun to see her back. And
she thinks she's in the parade. She's driving her car right there. And at one point, she was even up in Goofy's candy company float for Christmas. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. And also, so indoors they also have the PhotoPass photographers.
Right.
So while you're not like hugging them, you're close enough where you're able to get pictures with them. And here comes Joy. Again, she has been running around outside in the grass, and which was really fun for a few months. And then it's like, a year and a half later, we finally, get a little more of a proper meet and greet type experience.
Right. And Pooh is still out in the grass. So if you're looking for characters in the grass, you still have Pooh.
Yes.
With his
so far,
yes,
with his butterfly.
Butterfly net.
I don't know what he does with the butterflies. So you can see there's like a little fence, and so you can't get too close, but
I like it. I think it makes everything go faster. The line was not very long. Neither line was very long, and they move quickly because you just stand there, you get your picture. You don't have to worry about autographs or things like that. I know, a lot of people guess you miss them.
The kids, I think, especially really love being able to get a hug and an autograph.
Right.
So I look forward to when they can do that again.
And I'm not thinking that's that much longer away, because this is another step towards that. So, and we're going to say goodbye to Vanellope, and we're going to hit. Oh, look at, she's about to race back into the what do they call that chamber anyway?
I don't remember right now.
Do I show it? Let's see if I do. Yes, the link. We answered that question. All right, so now we're going to go around World Showcase to the Mexico.
I remember, but it had been a while since I had seen it until then.
Now, this was a much more popular. There was quite the line every time we've walked by here to meet Donald with his sombrero, his caballero getup.
I mean, this is a much more... people are walking around World Showcase and see him. It's not like inside the Imagination Pavilion. There's not that much going on in the Imagination Pavilion besides the ride.
Right.
The Image Works is not what it once was.
And let's not forget, he is the #1 duck.
Yes.
He himself, you even encoured him to tell you he was the #1 duck.
Okay.
I love that. I was very surprised when you asked him that.
I didn't ask him. I said, "Oh, you're the #1 duck," or something, right? Something like that. I don't know why I say it. I hear it so often. Anytime we see Donald, you hear somebody saying #1 duck, #1 duck.
But it's very unusual to hear you say it, so that made me have a big smile. I enjoyed that.
It's I've heard it, Axel says it. There was a guy who was in front of us who said it, and I'm just like, oh, #1 duck.
Yeah, he probably hears that quite a bit every day, I'm sure. But it was great. It was really nice to see Donald back in this location.
I thought it would be good for a photo, really. He does his little #1. And I had never even heard that until you and Axel were like talking about the #1 duck. And
on our way out, we decided to try another festival item.
And this is the Decadent Ballerina chocolate with dark chocolate mousse. And this is a brownie. So this was very thick. It was really
it was great to split. It was great. It was excellent.
When they say decadent, they mean decadent. So if you have a chance to go over to the Deco Delights booth, they have a number of different items there. And this is something that we just discovered on our last trip. We were over here in Canada, and you know how we had done the chock full of characters. Well, look at this. This one kind of even mixes in with the background coloring. It is Bao. Well, I had actually seen somebody mention that it was here. I would have never ever found, I would have never found it. So it's really cool that, there's other characters that we keep kind of finding out about and that are part of this. I mean, it's a decal. They call it chock full of characters. And this you can clearly see is a decal. Mm-hmm. But, who knows? Maybe there'll be other ones that pop up. I love this. I wish they would do these year-round little surprises. I totally agree. I think it's a fun scavenger hunt. And that is another show. We want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. That's another show. That is another show. And check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel for wherever you want to go. Especially right now, we're looking at Disneyland Paris's 30th anniversary. I have no idea how long it's going to last. I don't think they've said.
They have not said?
A year and a
18
half.
months?
Well, one of their anniversaries was 2 years, so maybe
You
it'll
never
be
know.
3 years, 4 years. So
It looks really good. I look forward to that very much. That's the place to be if you ask me. But also we have the Epcot International
Flower and Garden
Festival, our
coming up.
favorite festival coming up right around the same time. We have the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster there. That looks awesome. Cosmic Rewind.
Yes, coming this summer. No date yet.
No date. So much.
So there's a lot coming up. We've got Festival of Fantasy Parade coming up. There's a number of things happening in the Magic Kingdom in the coming weeks. That will
the new cavalcade. We will be there to see the new cavalcade with the most
11th.
characters ever in a cavalcade, apparently, at Walt
Well,
Disney
here,
World.
yes.
And later on this summer, apparently, the Avengers Campus opens also at Disneyland Paris.
It's not apparently that
Well,
we already know this.
They
Yes,
say
summer.
summer. I don't count anything until it opens and we have an official date.
Well, at least the official date, because they haven't said. I mean, is it June, July, August, September?
Yeah, summer ends in September, so you're right. Who knows?
So, but that's over at Disneyland Paris Walt Disney Studios Park. It will be fun to see them receive the Marvel treatment.
Yeah, we've done the Spider-Man ride at Disneyland, but the Marvel, the retheming of the Rock and Roller Coaster to the Iron Man coaster looks intriguing.
I saw somebody mention like Avengers roller coaster instead of Iron Man, so I don't know if that's the case or not. But it's going to be fun to see what they do with it.
So lots to come, lots coming up, lots to talk about. We will see everybody next week. Thanks again, and
have a great week.
See you next week.